All right, we are back. Fresh takes, Russo and Felice. Been an interesting week among the Russo Felice tribe here in the Fresh Takes world, but we're here. That's all that matters now. I am Paul Russo. Across from me, as always, man, the myth, legend himself with a big old Aquafina in front of him. Nick Felice. Nick, how you doing? But it has been a whole week since I've seen you.
Yeah, shout out Burn Dairy for this nice bottle of Aquafina. I've been chilling.
By no choice of your own. But good to hear everybody is officially back to being fully healthy.
Yep, everyone's back to work, healthy. Things are good. Things are looking up. New year, new me. Paul, how you doing?
We're good. Chilling. Copaceling,
Is that a new hat?
Not really. I think it was my grandpa's hat, but I'm not too sure. Ended up back at our house when he passed away, and or maybe it was just at my house in general. I don't know, but it popped up summer 2020.
Daytona 500, about a month and a half away, something like that.
Yeah, pretty much a month. Probably a month and technically a week, but they're actually testing in Daytona. They tested today. They're testing tomorrow with the new car, and looking forward to it. Obviously, the Clash coming up in pretty much 3 weeks, right before the Super Bowl, the week before the Super Bowl at the Coliseum, so that should be pretty interesting. And yeah, looking forward to getting the engines back going, and now at the moment, just sticking with my two usual races, I think, for now with the year, with Richmond in April and the Glen at the end of August now. So I don't know, I'd like to try and get to maybe a new track at some point this summer, but I think I'd probably have to keep it within driving distance. So maybe Pocono, maybe New Hampshire, Michigan, probably a little bit of a stretch. Of course, I have some Charlotte connections now, so maybe do Charlotte, but that's tough because it's Memorial Day weekend for the 600, and the Roval's mid-October, so I don't know. We'll see. I do like the Charlotte golf game though, the golf scene down there, so not all would be lost in a Charlotte trip if it wasn't a race weekend, that's for sure.
Well, if you didn't know,
we're off topic.
Well, if you didn't know, Paul, I know you're excited for Celebrity Big Brother.
Yeah.
I did see the date comes out.
Okay.
February 2nd.
Oh,
so
snap, the day of the Washington name release.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That Wednesday.
Yeah.
Big day for you.
Groundhog Day.
Yeah, it goes from February 2nd to February 23rd, 3 weeks
long.
Wow. So,
sheesh.
There you go.
We'll have a lot of miles in the Russo or in the Felice den.
Yeah, because it's on like 5 times a week.
That's wild, dude.
That's nuts. Intrigued to see what kind of celebrities they get, but so what's that? That's like 3 weeks away,
give or take. Yeah.
3 weeks from tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, look forward.
Here are topics for those wondering. Obviously, the NFL's and Bama in college basketball. We haven't talked college hoops in a while, and it's been a weird year in college basketball, which we'll really dive into. It's really, in my mind, a one-topic discussion in that realm.
What's the score right now? I didn't get checked.
I don't know. Cuse won. That's
Cuse won?
Yeah. I thought I saw 81-77, but
I haven't seen the score at all.
Syracuse. Anything else? Anything else that we're missing? Been busy with covering basketball here at Finger Lakes 1.
Yeah.
Hopefully everybody's been able to tune in.
The new year of the PGA Tour started.
That's true. The century.
We saw the top 3 lowest scores in PGA Tour history in the same tournament. Shout out Cameron Smith.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, NFL Week 18.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Bills clinch at home. Shout out to all Bills Mafia out there. Shout out to Kyle Evans. They want me to pass along, Nick, that he wants to know how you like Devin Singletary now. We'll get to that in a minute. The Bills obviously winning. Clinching at home was really cool, obviously, it's going to be an interesting playoff run for them. I think they get probably the preferred matchup, playing New England. Should be an interesting game, in my opinion. We'll obviously get to that in our prediction portion of it. But nice tune-up win, if you will, against the Jets. over the weekend. Yeah, I mean, other than that, the Lions pulled off the de facto upset, which was cool to see. Your Giants, Nick, lost to the Washington football team one last time.
Black Tuesday.
We'll touch on that. Yeah, so we'll jump right into Black Monday, actually, and the surprises of it. So, first and foremost, obviously, Brian Flores. I'm fairly stunned by the firing. I still don't fully understand it. Obviously, the Dolphins are kind of leaking information. It seems like they'd be the front runners for Harbaugh, or they wouldn't have done it. There's a very big connection with Stephen Ross, the University of Michigan. He tried getting Jimmy in before they hired Flores 3 years ago. The Dolphins they're a really weird team. I don't get it. Like, they're on the come up. I don't know. Yeah, your Giants, Nick. Joe Judge was safe and then not safe. I really don't get what happened over the course of really 18 hours.
Did Joe Judge retire?
No, he did not.
Oh, he didn't get the Gettleman treatment?
No. It's been a wacky Black Monday of sorts / Tuesday, I guess, if you want to get to that territory. Obviously the Vikings were probably in a no-win situation if they were to keep Zimmer or fire Zimmer. I fully get why they did. I don't know why. I don't know. There's just certain situations with them I just don't get. They're probably the most consistent team. Obviously, the Bears did the right thing, getting rid of Nagy and the GM as well. That sounds like it's probably going to be the landing spot for Flores. We'll see. Houston's the name of the game there. That's weird. They're going to keep Culley at the moment, but if somebody comes along, they will fire him. So I don't know. What were your Week 18 kind of impressions and Black Monday / Tuesday impressions?
Well, in my opinion of Week 18, man, it was a great first Week 18 because I think this is one of the best regular season finales we've ever had in NFL history. It was an awesome regular season finale. You went from not even about the Lions and the Giants, what they did. It just went from the playoff race was insane. It went from the Colts losing to the Jaguars to the Steelers were so close to tying, which would have saved the Colts, and they end up winning. And then you go from the Raiders and Chargers, who are, they're the same division, so they're not going to kneel, even though they knew coming in that if they both tied somehow, which ties are still rare, that they would have
very true.
Would have both made the playoffs. And it came down to the very last second of overtime, which if they tied, the Steelers would have been out, who eliminated the Colts because they didn't almost tie. And then, then the Raiders won it. It went from, the Chargers calling a timeout there because the Raiders were thinking about just, not even going for the win. They end up winning. Chargers are out. Steelers are in. And that's not even the NFC side. That's just the AFC side. Then the AFC, or the NFC, you had a great Niners-Rams game. The Niners came back. The Saints won, so they were hoping the Niners would lose to get in, and then they win. That was a great game.
Yeah.
It was a great interception I saw by Jalen Ramsey in that game. I just thought it was one of the best regular season finales ever in the NFL. And, Titans getting the number 1 seed. Houston, I told you, watch out for Houston. I did predict them to win.
Yeah, I predicted them on the backdoor cover.
They played well. Division rivals. But, going into the whole Black Monday, Black Tuesday thing, yes, Brian Flores is a shock. I was shocked. I was shocked because he did so well at the end. I thought that might have kept his job. But you look at his overall record, 3 years, overall record, not good.
Right. Yeah.
3 playoff-less seasons, I don't know. The 7 teams made the playoffs the last 2 years, and the Dolphins aren't one of them. So, it's a shock. I would have kept him, but hey, you didn't have the stats to back it up, to be honest, other than him winning 7 of his final 8 games this year. And, I don't know if they beat the best teams in that stretch either. So Yeah, I'm shocked. I didn't see it coming. Joe Judge, I think the fans took him out because the fans were pissed yesterday, knowing that he was going to stay potentially, and I think that's what pushed him out. They're going to get a new GM. They're going to get a whole new clean house because I think Joe Judge got a raw deal. Gettleman gave him a terrible team. It was tough to work with that team.
The thing with Judge with me, and I'm intrigued to kind of see how you feel about this. I thought I'm with you. I definitely thought he got look, his roster sucked, to be dishonest with you. It is what it is. But some of the decisions down the stretch were certainly questionable.
Mm-hmm.
And his comments in the media were obviously questionable. I don't think the fan pushback was the reason within an 18-hour span really to sway the Mora family that much. I in my mind, and I don't know how you feel, I think a lot of it has to do with his play calling on Sunday, especially. I think the quarterback sneaks are the ones that stand out, obviously, but from starting Glennon like he did when he still had Fromm on the roster, to more or less the treatment of like Daniel Jones. I don't know how you feel really about some of this stuff. It's just an interesting, I guess, decision, kind of backtracking in an 18-hour period. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they have a hunch as to who. Obviously, I think that people were again pointing to Harbaugh for it, but that job would not intrigue me enough to leave Michigan.
I think Harbaugh's gonna go to Chicago.
Really?
I mean, he played there. He's coaching Michigan right now. I think he could go to Chicago. I could see that. He's coming home. But I don't know where he's going. But, yeah, a lot of these coaching fires, other than Flores, I can see why Flores got fired, but he was kind of a shock. But all the other ones, not really a shock.
Mm-hmm.
Fangio and
yeah, Fangio's the one I'm surprised it stayed as long as he did. I'm surprised he wasn't an in-season. Him and Nagy, I'm surprised were not in-season firings.
Nagy. I mean, Nagy took his team to the playoffs last year. And
yeah, I think the thing with Nagy was a lot of the in-season stuff this year. You know what I mean? Not so much anything he did in the past, but certainly the present-day decisions and stuff like that.
And Zimmer, it just, Zimmer's kind of like not as long, but Marvin Lewis in a way.
Yeah.
Was successful, never showed up in the playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
never could get to the Super Bowl. And, well, Marvin Lewis, I don't even think ever won a playoff game, but which gets me intrigued for this wild card weekend when the Bengals play. See what kind of Bengals, see if they've changed, if they're still the same Bengals. But, yeah, kind of similar that way. Just, you had your chances. Now you're playing mediocre. You're just mediocre football team right now, and it was his time to go.
So I'll save the grand finale of Week 18, obviously, for the last portion of this discussion of it. Obviously, so last Tuesday morning, give or take, a certain I forget who tweeted it, so credit to whoever initially tweeted out, some I believe they called it coffee thoughts about Week 18 and a possible scenario in which if Pittsburgh won, the Raiders and Chargers, could theoretically tie and bounce the Steelers out of the playoffs. So everybody thought it was a good hearty har until it just about actually happened. It's weird. We talked about Staley a lot, maybe not on the podcast, but certainly behind the scenes about some of his decision making on fourth down and stuff like that.
That man's crazy.
And literally, he does not call that timeout. The timeout he called caused them missing the playoffs, to be honest with you. It seemed like the Raiders were not going to blow their chance. That being said, I think, they were saying about, we still were trying for the field. I'm like, were you though? Like, you were running the whole way down the field.
Something crazy.
So I'm going to toss it to you because you're the one who brought it up on the podcast last week. You were the one who was so gung-ho for it during the week, and it actually happened. So I do need your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been crazy. I mean, the Raiders, yeah, you're thinking, oh, they're in. They're going to get in with a tie or a win if the field goal. But if crazy things happen, if the Chargers had blocked that field goal and returned it for a touchdown, they would have been out. So, yeah, it's crazy because no one thought the Jaguars were going to beat the Colts. So they never even thought this scenario would ever happen. And little did we know the Jaguars played their best game ever of the entire season. And I was right, not to get off topic. I was right. The Lions won, even though I lost a parlay because I picked the Packers. But I picked on the podcast. I said the Lions would win. It was the start of a Dan Campbell era. Just watch out for them next year. But anyway, about the Colts, all they do is beat Jacksonville, and they just couldn't. But that's what's great about playing your division at the last week of the season.
Right.
You just, these teams know each other.
I did chuckle. Somebody tweeted about it, rather. Collusion. How, teams, certain divisions were playing offset of each other and stuff like that. It's
I did like the facial.
You can't fit everybody inside that same window. It's just not going to work that way.
I did like the facial expression of that one Steelers fan that was at that game last.
Yeah, what was he like? Oh, my God. Could you imagine the torment?
Being at that, yeah, not even knowing your team could be effectively missed the playoffs because of this game.
Oh my Lord! I tell you what, man,
it was entertaining. It was an entertaining game. I did enjoy it. I was happy the Raiders won. Yeah, that was a great week. That was a great Sunday.
All right. Wildcard weekend. Welcome
to the final weekend of the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome to Wildcard weekend, folks. Your NFC winner of the bye week, the Green Bay Packers.
As deserved.
And, drumroll please, your AFC bye winners, the Kansas City... Oh, no. That's my bad. I'm getting ahead of myself.
The King's coming back, baby.
I'm sorry. What?
King Henry is coming back. Show some respect. I know Tannehill is going to ruin their chances.
Gross. Anyway, your AFC bye week winners. Drumroll, please.
I basically just said it, but...
Who? That's right. The Baltimore Ravens. The Tennessee Titans.
They got to go through Nashville.
Baltimore. I had so much faith in Baltimore.
Yeah, and then that Huntley guy played.
I mean, it's not his fault that Lamar got injured.
Everything went wrong for that team this year. It all started with the running backs getting hurt.
Yeah, you're not wrong. COVID, really, at the start of the year. Just wild. Preseason injuries.
Losing 2 games by going for 2 at the end.
Oh, my God.
Everything went wrong for that team.
Absolutely. Well, Nick, you brought up the Bengals, and they're the first game of NFL wildcard weekend. Saturday at 4:30, they host the Raiders.
If you're new to the NFL and you've never seen it before.
The Bungles.
The playoffs. Usually, the first game is ESPN. But now that they moved the game to Monday, ESPN takes that. But they are still keeping the tradition of the worst playoff game being the first one of the weekend. Every year, it's the worst playoff game.
They are?
Every year. I know these are playoff teams, but this is always the worst game to start the
I'm just excited that we have a Nickelodeon game again.
Which one is it?
I believe it's the 49ers Cowboys.
At 1?
At 4:30 on Sunday.
Anyway,
who will be the MVP?
This game, like I mentioned it earlier, I'm intrigued to see what kind of Bengals franchise we got now. Is it the Marvin Lewis franchise that loses in the first round every year? That wins the division and loses in the first round. But this is also the Raiders, and I'm telling you, if the Raiders win the Super Bowl or just make the Super Bowl, you're going to see a movie about this team.
Oh, 30 for 30 at least.
Yeah, at least. I mean, you go from the whole John Gruden thing to the Ruggs thing
to the 2 cornerbacks getting DUIs as well.
To the new coach being the first coach to take over a team that didn't coach week 1, make the playoffs. To the John Madden passing away. It's been an unbelievable.
Right.
And they made the playoffs. I'm intrigued to see who plays Derek Carr if they have a movie.
Kurt Warner. Kevin James, I don't know.
It'd be a hell of a run. And I'm gonna think this run's gonna keep going. I'm gonna pick the Raiders here.
Nick, I don't know. But you bring up a lot of good points, and with that in mind, I have to do this. To be fair, shout out Chris Berman, the Raiders.
You like them?
Yeah. Why not?
A lot of rookies on that Bengals team.
Young players, but I mean at the same time,
there's a lot of young players in the Raiders too.
Right? So. Yeah. Saturday night prime time. The frozen tundra of Orchard Park. The Bills host the Patriots.
As much as I want to pick the Patriots, and that's my Super Bowl pick.
Oh my gosh.
I gotta pick them, right?
You gotta eat some crow on the Bills.
I think the Bills will win this game, but I'm picking my Super Bowl pick. Patriots win this game.
You got to eat some crow, admittedly,
Patriots win
about the
this
Bills.
Game. They still own them.
I'm going with the Bills because Singletary's actually good.
He's all right.
He's making you eat crow.
He's all right.
By the way, where do you think the saying "where make 'em eat crow" came from? Like, I'm really intrigued. I'm about to look that up.
Honestly, you've been saying it to me. I have no idea what it means.
You make it eat your own words, kind of. You know, eat it with a little bit of salsa on the side. Okay. You know, arrepentido.
They still don't have a running game. I don't know where to start.
Sunday, 1:00, Eagles at the Buccaneers.
Eagles at the final. Who is this?
Eagles at the Buccaneers.
As much as I want to see the Bucs lose, I'm gonna go Tampa Bay.
I'm going Tampa Bay as well. I have some future bets on them, so
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, how you enjoying the new mobile betting?
It's been an interesting endeavor so far. I've had some technical difficulties with a couple of the apps that,
Which one? I'll get a hold of them.
Caesars and FanDuel.
Really?
So it's been,
You're just loyal to DraftKings.
It's not even so much that I like DraftKings, but at least they haven't crashed, and at least they've given me the promos that they promised me so far, and, Yeah.
We'll do that behind the screen.
Yeah, I got baseball bats in the car. Take the gun, leave the cannoli.
Are you taking Tampa Bay?
Yeah, I'm taking the Bucs. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
This one I feel like we might have some split decision on. The 49ers at the Cowboys.
Who are you taking?
I want to... See, the thing is, on paper, the Cowboys should run away with this. It's not a discussion at all, right? The 49ers play tough, man. Like, they just do. Deebo Samuel,
whatever position he plays,
is a ridiculous animal, man. Like, he just is.
He's the MVP.
I unfortunately gotta go the Cowboys, though. Why,
Paul?
Yeah, see, I don't like it. It's like the Patriots pick with you to a degree. I have not been a big Niners believer, but they've turned me around a little bit. I just cannot get behind. To be fair, I really do feel like this is probably the toss-up game of the weekend.
Say it with me, Paul. You know the Cowboys are going to get all the calls.
Yeah, that might be playing a factor into me just rolling with it.
And I feel so bad for San Francisco. You just gotta beat them. You got to beat them by a lot because they're going to get the calls down the stretch. Right. They always do, at least in the first round.
Okay, I have a...
Go San Francisco.
I did not intend on this happening right now, but I do have an update on the Where Did Eating Crow Come From, courtesy of my mother, Michelle Russo, so shout out to her.
Give her a shout out.
I was not anticipating this occurring. The phrase eating the crow appears around 1850 in the United States. It is presumed to have been derived from a story that appeared in the Saturday Evening Post in the same year about a farmer who was challenged by his boarders to eat a crow. The original phrase was to eat boiled crow. That still does not
How about that? I didn't know we were getting a Pat Russo fun fact here.
I shout out to my mom. I was just not anticipating fully knowing about where did eating crow come from, and that still doesn't fully answer, but at least we know where it originated.
1850. Nice. I got San Francisco.
Yeah. I definitely think this is probably the toss-up game of the weekend, though, more than any of the others.
Really? Over the Monday night game?
Yeah. And we'll get into that.
We better.
Where am I?
Sunday
Sunday night. Steelers at the Chiefs. Nick, I want to personally invite you to the Ben Roethlisberger retirement party.
Why is this Sunday
I'm taking
night?
the Chiefs.
Why is this on a night game? Put this at 1 o'clock.
I mean, you know what other game would be the night game in that on Sunday then?
Cowboys.
Yeah. But Fox isn't going to let that one go, so NBC. Of
Actually,
course,
I think Cowboys are on CBS.
wow. And NFC on CBS.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy. Steelers are not winning this game. Kansas City, it's going to be just like Philip Rivers last year.
Yep. So once again, I'd like to invite everybody to the Ben Roethlisberger retirement party, Arrowhead Stadium, Kansas City, Missouri.
Hey.
We ask that you do bring one dish to pass.
Another reason to show why Mike Tomlin's one of the best coaches.
Stop.
He's one of the best. He got that team to the playoffs? Are you kidding me? He's one of the best, if not the best coach.
I genuinely want to know, and this has nothing to do maybe, I guess, specifically with Tomlin. I want to know how Steelers fans feel about how somebody was one of the players was videotaping the locker room after the game on Sunday after the Ravens before they knew that they were officially in the playoffs, celebrating with Tomlin out here doing I don't know what dance and thinking it's the greatest thing in the world when they were the same fans blasting Juju for doing pretty much the same thing the past 2 years. God, I hate the Steelers, man. They might be my new hated team in the NFL. Maybe sports in general. Oh, my God.
So, do you have Kansas City?
Yes.
All right.
God, I hate the Steelers. Monday Night Football. Cardinals at Rams.
Going to be a great game. But I got the Rams. Matthew Stafford going to get that first career playoff win.
If only I could trust the Rams.
Is this Kyler Murray's first playoff game?
Yes. If only I could trust the Rams. I don't know what team we get week to week with them.
It's going to be tough for them to put together for 4 straight games.
I'm going to go Cardinals. I think the defense on that one's going to win when it is going to show up when it matters.
The Niners just own the Rams right now, so
I'm going Cardinals though. I think one of the easiest bets of all time is just taking Matt Stafford to throw an interception pretty much. I want to see Stafford. I'm a Stafford fan. I want to see him do well in this playoff. I don't think they got the first matchup they would have wanted.
bring back Megatron.
Yes, but preferably in Detroit blue.
Nah, bring him to L.A. They got Odell there.
You might as well have Antonio Brown.
He's up. He's available.
Yeah, we know. All right. College football.
Now, this was the shocker of the week. Man.
Yeah, I mean, 33-18, Georgia beats Alabama, their first national title since 1980. Shout out Vince Dooley. Wow. Even what I thought the safest play of the day in the over went under by 1.5. Look, I probably am one of the bigger Stetson Bennett critics in Central New York. Hats off to him making plays when he needed to make plays. That defense, boy, oh boy, did it show up. I know on that pick six pretty much to ice the game. They sent on that drive, I'm pretty sure they sent at least 6 guys each defensive play. Just incredible, just like ballsy play calling by Muschamp on defense. Just incredible. Kirby Smart writes a lot of, evils, not only for himself versus Saban in Alabama, but Georgia versus Alabama in general. Just incredible. It was a great game, really overall. I know maybe not as great as everybody had hoped. Certainly that first half was lackluster at best, some pretty sloppy football overall. What a week, what a day for really the first really great, true experience on the live, mobile betting scene, for example. The amount of money probably people threw on live lines at Alabama at any given time was probably ridiculous. So I'm sure we'll someday see numbers on that. But just at the end of the day, Georgia just ended up getting the rematch. I mean,
the people got the minus 3-1.
Incredible stuff in my mind.
Yeah, I was shocked. But Alabama losing those receivers definitely did not help. This just wasn't the Alabama team. They put up the stat during the game. And my favorite part of the whole entire game was definitely the Bob's Burgers commercial for the movie coming out Memorial Day weekend. But seriously about the game.
Talk about a movie I'm not going to see.
Great show, man. The game, though, this just wasn't the better Alabama team that we're used to. Last year's team was just unbelievable. That was probably the best they ever had. This year's team, they put up the stat during the game that Georgia, the 4 opponents that they played all year long, Georgia beat them by a lot more than Alabama did. Mm-hmm. And, Alabama lost to Texas A&M, should have lost to Auburn. I think I did as well. Got blinded by their win over Georgia in the SEC championship game, and their win over Cincinnati in dominant fashion. And it just wasn't their best team. Obviously, they're still top 4, maybe the second best team in the country. But Georgia they were the best. They were the best team all year. They deserved it. As much as I lost my parlay I lost a bet because I picked Alabama money line. I am happy for Kirby Smart. Love to see someone beat Nick Saban as a former assistant. Didn't realize he was with him a long time.
Yeah, he's probably the de facto disciple.
He said he's his most loyal assistant, Nate Saban said.
I suppose, in essence, you'd probably say the Hopkins to Boeheim would be a very good local example of that.
Yeah. It was a great. It was a good game, and then it turned into a decent game. Mm-hmm. It had a chance at a great
really
game.
The fourth quarter saved that game, to be honest.
I did not see. Did you do that one on DraftKings where you needed a touchdown either?
Yes,
team?
I did.
My God! I took to the end of the third quarter.
I did do the boosted bet there, and for a hot minute, I was concerned.
I was like, are they gonna score a touchdown?
But obviously, the max you could bet was $25. But I mean, it was easy double up money until it wasn't.
I did not see 9-6 at halftime. Did not see that score.
Congrats whoever had the under on that.
It was good. I'm not the biggest college football guy, as you know.
Right.
But I do look forward to college football championship Monday. That's usually a good day. It's definitely you get the best 2 teams and I like the playoffs. I really do. I'm kind of like how people.
I'll tell you what I'm really getting into on the college football Monday championship games is the coaches room version that they do of the Megacast.
I didn't get to check any of them other ones out, but
I checked in on the Jimbo Fisher coaches room one for a little bit. That was pretty neat.
Who else was there?
It was just the A&M staff.
Oh,
which was pretty cool because they beat Bama and they did see Georgia, so
they lose to Georgia.
Pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah,
but I'd like to see more of that, and maybe not so much of the Manning style stuff. Admittedly,
did you hear about the MLB Manning cast?
We need to do a baseball only one maybe coming up. Maybe that's something we can explore for a couple weeks. We'll obviously touch on football, but we have the Hall of Fame ballot due on the 25th.
You're gonna answer my question?
Lockout updates.
Did you see the MLB Manning cast proposal?
Yeah, A-Rod and Michael K. and whatever. That one I think has the opportunity to be something cool. I think A-Rod would probably do better in that than.
Why Michael K. though?
I actually like Michael K. The radio. I like his radio show. I don't like him play-by-play, but
actually, I should admit that
Ed Kranepool.
I do like Michael K's radio show.
Yeah,
it's one of the few that I do watch.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I'd say wait to see fully, but yeah, we got off track.
Yeah,
back to you in the studio.
Yeah, college football. It was. I do enjoy the playoffs. I wish they would expand. I know they didn't get to a chance to do it the other day, but. I hope we're in expansion. 12-team playoff would be pretty cool. Mm-hmm. More the merrier. 68, let's do it.
Notre Dame.
Yeah, that was a good game, though.
Yeah.
I did enjoy it.
All right, let's go to the college sport that you do love, Nick. Final topic of the night, college basketball.
Yeah, I'm really into it now.
It's been a hectic year. I may not maybe seem like it to some, but it's been a hectic year because a lot of teams are dealing with COVID. A lot of games have been postponed, rescheduled, made up. Different teams going to different places now that they weren't supposed to. But above all, in my mind, and maybe I'm wrong, no team just jumps out at me this year. Like
Baylor
none.
just lost tonight.
Yeah, like none. I mean, pretty much if you were in the top 10 to start of the year, you're still in the top 10, but your position is just not the same. Like, it's just not. And that being said, teams have cycled in all the same positions. I mean, Baylor's back to being number one. They won't be anymore, obviously, coming out this week, which means Gonzaga will be number one again more than likely if they don't lose the game.
And they probably won't lose it.
Well, the West Coast ain't actually bad this year. West Coast has a legitimate shot at 6 teams in the tournament. It's been a fun conference to kind of keep a tab on. Gonzaga, BYU start off hot. Now they're kind of cooled off, but they're still looking on the right side of the bubble at the moment. San Francisco, I'd probably leave them out of the tournament right now, but they're right on the edge. Loyola Marymount is in on that as well.
I'm disappointed Miami didn't get ranked this week.
St. Mary's is also good, but yeah, I mean Miami, they ranked coaches poll. They're the first team out effectively, but the AP they're would have been 29th had you expanded out. No, 28th.
Yeah, they just beat at Duke. They're 11-3.
And look, Miami is a tough team. They don't have, in my mind, they don't have an exact go-to guy on offense. But this is a classic Jim Larinaga team who they're well coached, they're gritty as hell, they're tough as hell. Hey, some nights may not shoot you out of the gym, but look at the way they beat Syracuse. They came thundering back and won. And that Syracuse team is another discussion in of itself anyway. I mean, you talk about a team that we probably for sure overrated and overhyped. And
it could be the worst team Boeheim's ever had.
I don't know about the worst, but certainly the most underachieving team at this point. I mean,
record-wise could be.
Yeah, that part, yeah.
He's never had an under 500 season. They just got back to 500.
I will say this season more than any, I think this does fall on Boeheim. Look, it's just easy to game plan against a team that only effectively runs 2 defenses, a 2-3 zone and a 1-3-1 full court when he decides to switch to it. Look, if those are going to be your 2 go-tos, it's going to be easy to just find plays to break them both. Like, it just is. And when again, you don't use the bench that you have to its full capacity, or maybe not, capacity is the wrong word, just because of obviously to its strengths, and you don't allow really the young players to develop in and of itself, leave them out there when they do make mistakes. It's just tough, and frankly, despite how well he's played overall, I think Jimmy Boeheim's got to be the 6th guy off the bench. At this point, screw it. I would start both Sidibe and Edwards.
What's up with Sidibe?
They're bringing him back very, very, very slowly.
He played the one game.
Yeah, they're bringing him back very slowly from this knee injury, and he's got to be fully healthy at this point, or else he wouldn't be running him periods. So
I know it's Pittsburgh, but they seem to play well tonight.
Yeah. And again, though, they allowed it to be close down the stretch. It's just tough. There's again, you're starting Girard at point guard. He's not a true point guard. It's tough. You don't have a lot of quick guys anymore. It's just tough. I don't know. It's time. I think it's just time. I've been saying it now for a few years, but I mean, this got to be writing on the wall type at this point.
Who makes it longer, Boeheim or Babers?
Well, Boeheim probably by proxy, unless look, Syracuse got that Michigan quarterback transfer today committed, so maybe it might be Babers. I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully Gary Gates
could be the same time.
Hopefully Gary Gates the longest Syracuse coach at this point. I don't know.
And RIP to Greg Robinson as well.
Yeah, certainly, the bane of my, not to get, too far off.
He beat Notre Dame, that's all.
I remember that game, watching it from a hockey rink, but, certainly probably the bane of my childhood football, existence with Syracuse. Maybe not child, but certainly adolescent, you know. And look, in retrospect, yeah, he got dealt probably one of the worst hands you probably could have gotten dealt in college football at the time, and probably in general. I mean, it was a football program decimated, worse so than it is right now, and had to deal with some falling outs that Pasquale kind of left behind, and what is kind of sad or maybe upsetting if you are a Robinson fan, and there are people out there. I mean, look, this was a guy who Super Bowl champion defensive coordinator, like he knew what he was doing. Look, he pretty much recruited the first couple of those really good Doug Marrone teams. Like those were his teams for the most part. Still, he brought in Nassib. He brought in some of those defensive guys like Chandler Jones. You know, he certainly doesn't probably get his just due.
For at least his time at Syracuse.
Yeah, again, and a lot of this is obviously now in retrospect, and. Like I said, I mean, he was the bane of my adolescent experience as a Syracuse football fan. Like, we've talked about a lot on here. Like, I've only known Syracuse football to be predominantly awful. You know, Notre Dame, you've in your lifetime have really only had probably 3 years of being truly just whatever. But you've had winning. You know what winning is at Notre Dame. Like, you just know when a winning season, whatever. And I only have like a handful of those really with me, give or take.
Dungy and Nassib.
Yeah. It's just tough. And it's a shame, like I said. I mean, Greg up here is probably not respected like he should be overall. And a lot of that's really probably through more of our age generation of Syracuse football fan, which isn't a ton, but certainly vocal at this point. So, anyway, we're off topic a little bit there, so.
Yeah, I mean,
bring it back. I'll toss it to you because you're the college basketball guru, and
I don't know about guru, but I'm just hoping the ACC gets a little bit more respect. Obviously, our records
it's tough though.
Show
it's
otherwise.
That bad.
Yeah, like you got Virginia that's down, Florida State's down, and then surprisingly Notre Dame 3-1, 9-5. Here we come, and we got a.
Notre Dame, I will give them credit. They're playing a lot better than I thought they were going to be.
Well, they have this freshman on their team, Blake Wesley, who's like the first South Bend kid to come to Notre Dame since like the 60s, I think. And he's legit. He's a star. He's our best player already. Mm-hmm. And he's going to be going to the NBA. And I don't know if you knew this, Paul. Notre Dame has never had a freshman leave early to go to the NBA. Not only have they not had a freshman, they've never had an underclassman leave early and go to the NBA.
Almost had one for the MLB, but
yes, they've never had anyone leave early to go to the NBA. And this kid's going to be gone probably after this year, which is going to suck. But he's in Notre Dame. He bleeds Notre Dame. That's the reason he came there. He's from South Bend, and Blake Wesley's his name. And he's going to be an absolute star. You're going to watch him. Because he's gonna make a name if they can get into the NCAA tournament. And things started off slow, and he wasn't in the starting lineup because in Mike Bray's teams you got to earn your spot, and he's earned his spot, and he's been playing awesome. Check him out against Clemson tomorrow. And yeah, I'm excited. It's the first time I've been excited for a Notre Dame basketball team in a while. Since 2018, we missed it. We were like first team out, but ever since then. The Mooney era, John Mooney was a star, but his teams were terrible. And the only guy that's had NCAA tournament experience is, I know you guys are you're used to Ivy League transfers, obviously with Jimmy Jr., but we have an Ivy League transfer, Paul Atkinson, he was the Ivy League Player of the Year last time they had a league or season, and he was Ivy League Player of the Year. He's our center now, Paul Atkinson. So he's the only guy that has NCAA tournament experience on Notre Dame. So
who would have thought?
And I'm looking forward to it. I've been excited because they're on a winning streak right now. Trying to get that double bye. Let's do it. North Carolina, Duke. Duke's good. North Carolina, we beat them, but not one of their better teams. They got their new coach. And then Duke's going to get their new coach next year, Shire. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. ACC is definitely down again, which sucks. But Syracuse, 8-8. I was doing the math the other day before their game. Jim Boeheim had to go, so now he has to go 7-8 to avoid his first losing season. Or 7-8 is a losing season. Yeah, that would be losing season.
Sub 500.
So he has to go 8-7, counting one game in the ACC tournament to avoid his first losing season, and first time he would ever lose.
Yeah,
he would lose 15 games. He's lost 15 games. It's not been good for Syracuse since they've gone to the ACC. They were great that first year.
Right.
They had Tyler Ennis. He made that shot against Pittsburgh. Yeah, they were great the first year, but ever since then, it was like the 8-9 game. They were in the ACC tournament every year. And, I don't know. It's been not a great year for them. Mm-hmm. But the thing about the ACC and college basketball in itself, Syracuse or anybody else can beat anybody in the country. They could also lose to anybody in the country.
God bless America.
that's what kind of product they have right now. Like you said, there's no team that sticks out, and a lot of these teams can play. So, yeah, you got to be ready every game because you could lose it and you could win it. So, it's exciting stuff. Obviously, this is the best part, I think, of the college basketball season, hopefully, because we haven't had a legit college basketball season in a few years now. And, yeah. And we haven't had a legit tournament in like 3 years, 2019. And this is the best part. We get in the conference play. And then, obviously, what happens in March. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking forward to it. Be intrigued to see what happens in the ACC these next few months, but it's not looking good. Not looking good. That's all I got to say.
All right. That'll probably take us to the end of the show.
Leaving it on me?
No. Let's take us to the end of the show and whatever else. And who are you shouting out, Nick?
I'm going to shout out our chief photographer at the Finger Lakes Times, Spencer Toulis. He is gone right now. And he's gone for the next 2 months. He's down in Daytona Beach. Said it was like 75 degrees there today.
What's he doing down in Daytona Beach?
Hey, he's taking a vacation. And I am going to be, there's a bunch of people stepping up for his job this next 2 months. And I'm going to be shooting some photos.
Is he down there for NASCAR?
Yeah, he will be.
Oh, wow. He's actually going.
I don't know if he's going.
Oh.
He will be down there. I don't know if he's going, but he might go. He loves shooting stuff. And, so I'm getting excited. I think World of Inquiry
World of Inquiry.
At Penn Yan. I will be shooting that game along with covering it. So
Click.
Nervous about how the photos will come out. But we'll see. That's all I got to say. Shout out Spencer.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Shout out to Spencer. Yeah, we will be at Palmac Wayne tomorrow, FingerLakes1.com radio. Make sure you tune in for that, for Big Finger Lakes East game. At the moment, Ted Baker and Kyle Evans are on the call for that. A lot of this stuff is subject to change. COVID running rampant right now. And then Friday, Minders hosting Waterloo Girls, Jim Senecropi, Mike Alessio on that call. And then I think we're going to try and get up to the Lions for Saturday for classic rivalry game there. Lions and Clyde, Savannah. So that should be a good one. Other than that, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, all the fun stuff to help us. And Finger Lakes One goes further than you might think. Other than that, we'll catch you guys next time on the Fresh Takes Podcast. Russo Felice. Have a good weekend and week, everybody.